Hello, everyone, and welcome to our show. I'm your host, Kenneth Nunez, and tonight is a very special night because we are here with our class of 2023 valedictorian, Michael Reyes.
Hello, I'm Michael.
Um, so I was actually going to ask you if you could start by introducing yourself.
Oh, yep, I'm Michael Reyes, valedictorian of the class 2023, and I'm also one of the co-captains for robotics, Team 4890.
So far, what would you say was your biggest challenge during high school, and how did you overcome that?
My biggest challenge throughout high school, I wouldn't say was academics, but it was more kind of like getting used to like public speaking and getting to socialize with other people, because kind of one of the biggest things that was instilled within me when I was in middle school was like academics, getting good grades and stuff. But then coming to high school, I learned that it was just more than that. I wanted to become part of my community, helping out, doing a bunch of extracurriculars, and all of that kind of like really was like a challenge for me to like learn how to get used to and grow and like basically growing my own self skills.
So, speaking of your extracurriculars, you said that you were part of the robotics club. How did, like any other extracurriculars you did, how did they shape your experience here at BHS?
So some of the other extracurriculars I did, one of them is that I was part of what is called OSA. Basically, we work on research projects each year. I've been doing that also since my freshman year, and like we get to choose what research projects we want to do. So like for this year, I did a research project on using AI, and like trying to like use it for like facial recognition, and like trying to create images of a human face from just like a sketch. So like that kind of like really helped me, especially for my public speaking skills, because there's a lot of like trying to market yourself and like all of the branding and stuff that comes with having a research project.
So, with all of these extracurriculars that you have, obviously it couldn't have been easy to balance it. So, how did you manage that?
Trying to manage between academics and extracurriculars. A lot of the time I would be spending my time after school working in robotics or working on my research project, and sometimes I would also be, because I also was part of Latin Club, I would be helping that out as well. So like a lot of my time up until like maybe like even like 5 p.m., 6 p.m., I would still be in school working with all of my extracurriculars, and then when I got home, I would immediately start working on all of my academic work and stuff. But trying to balance it all wasn't too much for me. I will say it was like it can be a lot of stress, but usually like I tend to like keep calm and like just take a deep breath and like just like relax myself, knowing that like I'll be okay in the end.
So, what advice would you give to incoming high school freshmen?
Uh, well, my biggest advice for like incoming freshmen is that try to get involved in as many extracurriculars as much as possible, because that's what really like makes the high school experience so much fun, but also helps with you in the long run because you get to explore other communities, uh, find a new passion that you might have not even learned about. Like when I came into high school, I didn't think that I would be doing Latin club, for example, and then afterwards I soon became a state board member. So like those extracurriculars also really help with like applying to colleges, because they show that like you're really active and you're not just doing academic work at school.
Do you have any favorite memories from this year or from high school in general?
Probably my most favorite memory this year is honestly being at the robotics state championship this year, because this was our second year being at the state championship, and like I got to experience like what it was like being, especially because we got into the semifinals of the championship, and I met a lot of really cool people there at robotics. But then I also like it was where I got to like see all of like my like closest friends who come from robotics. Like I got to see them cheering on for us and like being so passionate about like that extracurricular really was what made me happy, and like knowing that like I really enjoyed my time here at BHS.
So, with that, are there any accomplishments that you're most proud of from either the robotics team or the Latin club or?
Um, my biggest achievements I'm really proud of is other than robotics, which we've been doing so well in the past few years. I've also won like for the past straight 4 years medals from science fair, and then there are also like when I was working in Latin Club, there were times where like I would get awards for like different activities and stuff that we had, and that really like I was really like proud of myself for all doing all of that.
So how did you stay motivated and focused throughout school?
Staying motivated, really the biggest thing is having people who are supportive around you and like they appreciate all of like the work that you do, because being there all alone sometimes it can feel like that, oh, like all of your work that you're trying to do isn't enough, or that you're not like doing a great job. But then having those people to like support you, back you up, and like especially all of your friends and such, and even like teachers who like are there to like support you, they're really like a great help in like trying to get to stay motivated and just keep on pushing through and rolling through the punches.
So how did you like handle stress and pressure during like, trying to stay motivated?
Handling all of that stress initially in the beginning throughout like my freshman and sophomore year, handling all of that stress, really I didn't know how to handle it. So like sometimes I would like slightly crumble under pressure, but I didn't really show it. But then starting in my junior year, when like we like got more competitive in like all of my extracurriculars, that's when I realized that I needed to like kind of like take a step back. So like there would be times where like I wouldn't push myself too much. I'd like give myself time to just relax and do creative hobbies that I would like, just so that I can, whenever I get back to all of the work I have to do, then I'm not as stressed or worried about what I was doing.
What are those creative hobbies, if you mind sharing with us?
Some of those. So one of the hobbies is that I like to play the guitar. I've been self-taught, trying to learn for like the past couple of years, and then I've also recently I've gone to photography a lot, especially film photography. Like that's like one of my biggest hobbies that I like to do whenever I have free time. It's like sometimes I'll just go out in like the park or somewhere, or like even like sometimes I want to go out like in like just like natural areas and such, and that's where like just start taking photos and just because it gives me that time to relax for a moment, just like appreciate everything around me.
Yeah, I want to learn guitar so bad, so that's good on you that you're self-taught because it's really hard, especially if you don't know like music theory. Like it's really difficult.
Yeah.
So, who has been your biggest inspiration throughout high school or?
My biggest inspiration in terms of like BHS faculty would be Miss Damos. She's been a really big help to me. She's like guided me throughout my past 4 years here, and like she's really shown me like how to grow and develop as a person, both like in like academics, critical thinking, but then she's also shown me how to like socialize with other people and like get to know others, and she's been a really big help for me throughout my year, especially trying to open up throughout my high school.
Shout out to Miss Damos. What teacher is she?
She's a biology teacher, and then she's also the lead coach for robotics, and she also is the one who handles all of the research projects that we do here at BHS.
So, what was the most difficult class you took during high school, and how did you manage to excel in it?
My most difficult class, it would have to, I'd probably say it would be AP Physics 2, which I'm taking this year, partly because the transition into like senior year, it's like, it feels like you're about to graduate, so like you kind of like let loose, and then afterwards like that kind of like made my work a little bit harder for this year. So then there are just a lot of like different concepts that I would have to grasp, and it was like widely varied compared to like most of the other hard classes that I took, because it was like solely focused on one single idea and like several and like few concepts. But then physics 2 was like I would have to do one day I would be doing thermodynamics, and then next thing I know I would be learning about lenses and light, and that was like a lot for me to handle.
Yeah, everyone that I know that's taking Physics 1 level B, they're all clawing at the wall. So I know, I understand it can be difficult. So what was the biggest lesson that you learned in high school?
The biggest lesson I learned is that even if you aren't the smartest, like considered what the smartest or top highest in the class, I feel like that like people, they're still unique in their own way, and they're smart in their own way. They're like really, they can be really amazing individuals, and like, because I've met so many people who they've really changed me. They've really brought new insight, and like all of those like varying perspectives, like getting to know different people, like those really shape how your perspective is throughout the future and even during high school. Like without them, I feel like I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah. I feel like more people would try harder if they saw themselves be represented in school and in those communities and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, that's really good. What was the most meaningful project or assignment that you completed during high school, and why?
My most meaningful project would be robotics. Like that's the thing I'm like really big about. That was like my biggest thing that I worked on throughout high school, from freshman, sophomore, junior year. Like that's, and then senior year. Like that was the biggest thing that I would be working on each day.
What kind of stuff did you work on in robotics?
So in robotics, one of the biggest things that I did was other than being the co-captain and helping manage all of my team, there would also be, I was the lead programmer for our team. So like I would be helping code our robot, program our robot. There were like various different things that we could do with our robot that I need to like help program. And then it was like a lot of like technical skills that like I had to utilize in robotics.
Are you planning to pursue that in college, or?
Yeah. In college, I plan on pursuing computer science. I plan on going to Rutgers, New Brunswick. And there, like, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. But I know for sure that, like, I would like to major in computer science, that field, all of that stuff.
What did you do to prepare for college during your time in high school?
For preparing myself in college and during high school, I would have to say that a lot of it would be trying to be self-reliant and developing all of the study skills that I need, but also getting to network and connect with other people. Because one of the biggest things with college is that other than making sure that you get your education and learning all of the stuff in academics, is also getting to connect with other people. Because those connections can really help in the future, especially if you're trying to acquire new jobs or trying to learn, work on research projects in college. And those connections really, even if you're not majoring in like a science related field, like having those connections is really what makes you able to get those opportunities to do well after college.
What advice would you give any incoming seniors applying to college?
Biggest thing with incoming seniors, the first thing is that work on your college essay as soon as possible. Don't procrastinate on it. And then try to, at least with your essay, try to like show who you are. You want to really stand out from all of like the other applicants, but then also like not try to like forcibly do it. Like you want to show that like this is who I am, but like not like flaunting everything. Like you want to show how you are as an individual, but then also like why the college should accept you. And then also like just getting to enjoy senior year, because after senior year it's kind of like you're in college and a lot of it is going to be like very stressful. You won't have as much free time and stuff.
So what was your college essay about, if you mind sharing with us?
My college essay, it was centered around robotics. So that's, yeah. But I'm trying to remember what I wrote in it, since it's been a while since I looked at it. But I remember like describing my experience, how it shaped me as a person, especially getting to like grow the skills that are very like, that define different people and like make you like a better person.
That's good.
Yep.
I'm a junior, so I've been trying to look for ideas. My sister just applied to go. She didn't just apply; she got accepted into NJCU. So
That's good.
yeah. What was the most important thing you learned in high school, or not in high school, but about yourself during high school?
The biggest thing I learned about myself is that I really enjoy like just having the company around me, the people I like enjoy hanging out with and love, and the fact that like I would want to be surrounded by people that I do enjoy. Because originally I was more introverted coming into freshman year. I was like I really kept to myself and didn't want to like talk to as many people. But then slowly over time, I found that like, oh, there are more people that I really do enjoy being hanging out with, and like that self growth inside me helped me really appreciate everything that I have, and I'm kind of like thankful for everything that I have now.
I can't believe I haven't asked this to you yet, but what's your favorite subject in high school and why?
My favorite subject in high school, um, it would probably have to be between probably sciences. Like a lot of the sciences, I'm really actively involved in. Like most of my classes that I'm taking this year are all science related: engineering, physics, research, all of the computer science classes. Like was that's really my most favorite subject.
What was the most surprising thing you learned in high school?
The most surprising thing I learned in high school is uh, I'm not really sure what really surprised me in high school. Like the biggest thing that stood out, because there were a lot of things that like stood out to me during high school, like a lot of little things, and like it's really hard for me to describe exactly what really was like the biggest surprise.
Yeah, I get it. Um, what was your biggest regret from high school, and what would you have done differently?
My biggest regret in high school probably it would have to be like during my freshman year. There was like one friend that I had, but then afterwards, like I didn't like my actions weren't as good. So like
Yeah.
I really feel like that I messed up there. But like at the end, it's like kind of like I've accepted that it is what it is, and like kind of like life moves on. Like there'll be friends that you'll have that like you think that they'll stay with you forever, but then after slowly over time, you just drift apart. But for the most part, it's like that was probably my biggest regret. But like I'm not like I don't dwell too much on it anymore.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I agree.
Yeah.
Life moves on. Um, what was the most challenging aspect of the college application process for you?
The most challenging part of the college application process, it would probably have to be doing all of the supplementals that they give you. Like there are a lot of different like there's not some for some colleges it's not just your essay. They like request for you more information about yourself because they really want to know specific details about you, and then filling out all of that information really like kind of took up my time. So, but other than that, it wasn't really too hard on me.
And this is our final question, but what are your future plans and how do you think your high school experience has prepared you for that?
My biggest plan is that obviously I want to go into the computer science field. I like data analytics, like working with computer systems and stuff. But then also like I still have plans on even to like help out with the robotics, like become a volunteer here at BHS and like help out. Like I really want to like not only do academic work, but also want to help do volunteer work and like help other like younger people who are aspiring to be in the STEM field and stuff. I really want to help them grow those skills that I learned here at BHS.
If you could go back in time and give your freshman self one piece of advice, what would it be?
The biggest piece of advice that I would give to my freshman self is to just take a moment to relax and step back for a moment, because during my freshman year I was really stressed out about like all of the smallest things that like were around me. So like let's say I got like a 95 for example instead of like a 97 on a grade, then I would stress out about it, or like I just stressed out about every small thing because I was so worried about how I would do and how that would be, how people would see me, because I really want to like show that I was like the best and like that for others to really like me. But over time, throughout my years, that I slowly realized that like the only biggest thing that I really need to worry about is like who the people that really do care about me and like want to help me and like support me. So I didn't worry as much about trying to seem like the best to everyone in the entire world, like people I didn't know. And that really is what was most important that I feel like that I wish I could tell my freshman self.
Yeah. I would probably tell my freshman self the same thing if I'm being honest. How have your goals changed from freshman year to now?
In lieu of that, my initial goals in freshman year were primarily focused on just academics, That was my sole focus. I thought that I would have to do. I thought that I would be spending all day just doing homework and working on schoolwork and projects. That's what I thought initially coming into high school and freshman year, and so I was really big on that. But then over time, I slowly realized that like I wanted to help develop my own skills, like my personality and my characterization of who I am. Like I wanted to become the person that I really do enjoy being and doing all of the hobbies and stuff that I love, rather than just solely focus on work, 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 and nothing else but work.
Yeah, like we said before, you know, like people that are younger than us see themselves being represented, and they, you know, they want to part in that too. It makes them more motivated. So
Yep.
that's really good. Your answers were amazing. So thank you so much for your time. It was great to have you here as a guest, and we wish you good luck on your future endeavors.
Thank you.
So you people at home, we hope to see you all soon.